I feel at this point, is if they win. Because if they go on and lose, TYLOO are just going to kind of walk away and just be like, guys, well done. We did our job. We got the points. It doesn't matter if they lose. Whereas I kind of want that moment where TYLOO have that sinking feeling in their stomach of like, did we play bad today? Did things go wrong? Like, could we have done anything differently? And then hopefully someone will scream in their face, yes, you made so many mistakes in map number 2 and map number 1. You could have played a lot differently. And maybe they'll learn. Maybe that's me being deluded. Blair's probably sat there giggling to himself with an alcoholic beverage in his hands to try and numb the pain of what has been years of hoping that TYLOO would change. I feel like at the moment, that sort of clingy girlfriend who says, no, 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 no. What you don't understand, I love him, so he will change for me. Like, he'll be a different man. Yeah, he cheated on me 8 times. And I know that sounds like a lot, but he promised me, Mitch, this time that he would change. But TYLOO will never change.
I don't know.
Neither will your ex-boyfriend as well.
Tom's delving into some personal experiences here. They say act what you know, I suppose. So fair play, Tom.
Leave me?
Share
no,
it all.
I'm kidding. I know Hugo's got a bad body, but like, what did I do wrong?
Oh, whoa. Listen, I've seen a picture of them in the pool, Tom. I wished it was you. You'd look like a boiling egg in that sun. It'd be beautiful. God. But no, I need to stop thinking about Tom in a swimsuit so I can sit back under my desk again.
Don't worry, we're looking at one.
Oh, all right. Anyone else getting hot in here? What's going on? Woo! All right. Well, TYLOO, T-side, they're going to look to attack the senses of ZAI and really tear them to shreds. Tom, how you feeling? TYLOO, you said less than 10 rounds given to their opponents on this map.
Yes.
I'm holding you to that. We're going to keep an eye on it.
Does it matter if I'm wrong at this point? I don't care. You can hold me to it. You were wrong. It's like, whatever.
You didn't predict what TYLOO would do. Yeah. You idiot.
This is what, could you not see it coming? Happens regularly, though, on this map. That's all I'm trying to say. Bulbasaur, he's getting aggressive. So is Ronan. They are taking the fight to TYLOO. And that's one thing I really love about this ZAI team. There's not a huge amount, but they are not afraid of this TYLOO squad, which is what I feel like a lot of teams suffer from. Even the likes of Vici to an extent, where they get into these advantageous positions and they throw it all away. They close that map clinically. They stopped all these ridiculous upset Deagle rounds in their tracks, and they managed to actually close out a map versus the Titans of Asian Counter-Strike. This round, though, is getting a little bit uncomfortable. The smoke's going to fall in. The bomb should be planted. They've got into this position quickly, though, and they're going to get the duel versus somebody. If they fight this together, the worst case should be a trade, and in fact, Bulbasaur's just going to own him. No magic this time for somebody, and in fact, it'll have to be Dan King and Summer, but we've already seen Dan King do it once. Even if he's low on HP, he's still a menace. And now both players, in fact, hang desperately low. Summer, he's trying to help out his teammate here. He's actually going to get a freebie, and now it's left all onto Neff. They don't even need to peek him. They can just try and play the angles. He's got an HE. That should be the kill for free. But Summer peeks, and before he dies, he rips the head off Neff. The pistol goes to TYLOO, and they'll get off to a strong start.
A strong start indeed. And a strong start they need. Because when we've seen TYLOO come into games where they're versus the weaker opponents, well, they bleed. And they find themselves in a position where they're definitely looking mortal. I think, as Arnie said, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And at the moment, TYLOO, they've been hemorrhaging blood in a lot of these games. And it's really not what you want to see in this kind of matchup. They should be able to walk out of it easily. This is the bottom team in the tournament. 16-14 and a map loss pretty convincingly. This is where they need to answer up. And hey, it doesn't get much better than winning a long-range duel versus a scout with a Mac 10.
Well, there's 4 Deagles remaining. The magic has already begun. Ronan's going to get rid of somebody. There's a weapon to be had. They've still got more smokes. I like the setup that they currently have, just trying to delay as long as possible. The problem is, TYLOO definitely don't abide by the laws of smokes in most cases, although they are waiting behind this one. maybe coming to the realization that their YOLO style is not working out too well thus far. Although it worked quite well in the pistol round, to be fair. This Crossfire is going to need to do a lot. Ronan with the Galil. It's the furthest away. He was left as the solo player, and Spiels goes down without much of a fight. The rotation from Splash Kit is there isn't actually a smoke here. They've given him a fight or two, and well, if it wasn't for multiple players peeking him, they probably would have gone, oh, okay then. Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, the low HP on Dan King, attacker's half. You're thinking maybe it's possible, and then just a spray through the smoke to get him a 3K and a save for Ronan, baby. This is a disappointing turn of affairs. With TYLOO, they come out on top. They get 2-0, and ZAI, although they looked good for a minute, don't kill that chicken, Ronan.
Hey, he was taming it.
He's got to follow him. It's okay. He's petted. His new little friend. I hate chickens. Scrawny little birds.
Well, he lost all his other friends, so he made a new one. I'm not sure.
Give him the pistol.
just hand him.
No!
Traitor!
Traitor. Well, I hate Ronan, baby, now. Can't believe he's done that.
It's Ronan X, baby.
The Chicken Slayer. And hey, if they win this one, they'll be the Dragon Slayer as well. First team to take down TYLOO in this tournament, at least. The first one to look damn good doing it as well.
This round at least. Ooh, okay. And King. These fights have been awkward, and again, attacker's already tagged. Slowly's on 13 HP. They have to be careful in these sort of rounds. I'd like to see the rifle dropped over to someone with higher HP, but well, considering Dan King's looking like he's about to push, the flashbang's solid. Unfortunately, it doesn't catch out onto somebody. Ronan, he's trying to set up the smokes, but Summer has already got far further than he ever expected. Look how low they all are. Surely they're not going to get more aggressive. Attacker's pushing with now currently 6 HP.
He's still going. He's still going. What's he doing? What? No, you can AK somebody. You've got an AK. Why are you peeking with low HP? They're going to save it now. You moron. Why would you do that? What? Somebody in Dan King had HP. I mean, if you really desperately want to go for kills, give them a Mac 10. What? Like, why? Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid, Tom. I hate this team.
Yeah, I love how it was like slowly sort of just chilling. Like, in fact, he's just got off. He's like, I'm making sure that I don't die, hiding in the back of apartments. And then both somebody and attacker are just like, this is our moment. It's like, no, but we don't need you to. This is our moment. And then just run in and just hand away. Well, technically 2 guns, but you don't really need the second one.
No. I mean, maybe attacker didn't have his glasses on. Maybe they fell off. He couldn't see his HP. But what was somebody doing? You got an AK, man. Like, swinging through to try. Oh, I don't know, Tom. I criticize teams when you're in a position, and again, this is something that when I was working as an analyst for some teams, we went over this. It was a thing of some players, when they've got a Mac 10 and like 20 HP, they'll continue to hunt for kills instead of giving the Mac 10 to the... Oh, attacker's been naded. You can give that Mac 10 to your teammate and let him go hunt kills, and he's probably going to actually kill someone. And you've got armor as well to save into the next round. It's a small decision, but it's actually a pretty big decision, really, because it means you don't have to reinvest into armor, whatever utility you have, and your teammate gets extra money. Altogether, a better position to play from, and you don't give an SMG for free to your opponents. Now, that's something I'll criticize, but then when the guy with the AK goes through, it's like he's covering for his teammate. It's like he doesn't want his teammate to get in trouble, so instead of his teammates skipping school, so he sets the school on fire just to make sure that no one gives out to his teammate. It's like, now you're in trouble.
The sort of like failing a test worse so that your friend doesn't feel bad about failing. Ultimately, you both still failed.
You get in trouble for... Your friend gets in trouble for saying something bad in class, so you punch the teacher in the face. It's like, well, now... What he didn't look so bad, huh? Like,
Maybe that's what this is, just a game of trying to make the teammates look better. Isn't that a wholesome way to look at what is not the case at all? 20 seconds on the clock. They're going to go for a late take into the B site. Both players at the back of the site, they're playing a bit of a bait and switch. I quite like this. Spiels, he just has to go for fights. That's all he really needs to do. And now they're probably not going to check this. So there's the freebie one. He's going to deny the play. Still trying to plant. He didn't even realize that someone had died. This setup was so perfect from ZAI, but at the same time, surely after your teammate's dead, the penny needs to drop.
It should do, but sometimes it doesn't. And ZAI, well, they get away with an insane round. So one goes down. Oh, Summer was walking in with his back turned. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I think he just, at this point, just assumed this. Like, actually, even that's weird, because fair enough, you might assume the back left of the site is clear, but why are you expecting that dark's clear as well? You didn't clear that position. Oh, well. They've got enough money to buy anyway. I feel like that's just going to be my new catchphrase, would just be, oh, well. It's just like, whenever they do something, we'll just move on. Because if I get annoyed every time they do something silly, I'm just going to have a heart attack. Like, I will die reasonably young.
I'm just watching back that push that they made, trying to figure out what was going on in their heads, and I've come to the conclusion nothing was. Just switched off. DMing. It hasn't worked for TYLOO so far, not in the previous map anyways, and we'll see if it works this time. Push. Oh, this is going to be just wreck city. Slash cut. He tries to peek it. I thought they were going to flash around that corner for him. And Spiels tried to peek on the edge of the smoke, but Attacker had the lineup and he was ready to go. Nicely done. 3-1. Turning into 4-1 more than likely. I think ZAI should... Whoa, they've lost another player. They definitely just saved now.
And for the T's, they actually don't have a huge amount of money here. It's not like that they've won a streak of rounds. They've just come off the back of a loss. So it might be a smart decision just to make sure they at least keep 4 or 5... They've come back! Oh, they're learning! That's beautiful, that is. For anybody who doesn't realize what they just did, they realized that they didn't actually check the site when they planted the bomb. And they also realized that they were going to go on the hunt. So they went, let's Molotov the back of the site just to check that we cleared it properly. Oh, that is beautiful. That's made my day a bit better, that has. Oh, God.
TYLOO learning from their mistakes. What?
Yeah, only 20 seconds after the bomb was down.
Hey, that's something. I'll take it. I'll take it at this stage.
Oh God. Well, they clean up all the remaining players, and they actually don't lose anybody. So, although that was a bit silly and quite funny to watch, they win that flawlessly. So that's as good a round as you're ever gonna get, being on the T side of Inferno. And as said, like I sort of said it going into this map that I don't think ZAI will get 10 rounds. That wasn't a jumping headshot, was it?
It's honestly getting a little bit ridiculous, a little bit close for TYLOO's liking.
The thickness of the wrinkles in my head have doubled over the stage of this map. Oh, okay.
Oh,
nice shot from Bulbasaur. The bomb and somebody are currently split, but they will be able to team up. This has been a very costly round. Now, considering in the buy round, they managed to get away flawlessly while hunting down players, it does sort of paint a picture that things definitely seem to go a bit more freestyle later into the round. Spiels, he's got an AK. Now, his team have enough money to buy into the next round comfortably anyway. Now he's found an AWP, but just worth the save. Yeah, just keep the AWP. Like with the AK, there was an argument for going for it, but once you find an AWP, that's so much extra money being saved that just keep that into the next round.
You know, when we first started the PAL series, I remember coming into it and Blair was welcoming us to his world and to the madness. And I thought, bit dramatic, isn't he? Well, Blair, I'm sorry. Sorry you've had to deal with this. I can't imagine, because the thing is, TYLOO, from what we've seen just recently, they make so many mistakes. So many. And it just seems like they, even when you think they're getting punished for it, they just come back into games and they just smash their opponents. And it's got to be so frustrating to see this on a daily basis. You're like, it's the thing you described when you were talking about Destroyer, Tom. You're saying he's that kid that does something, like he's running, and you're like, you're going to fall and hurt yourself, and he doesn't fall and hurt himself. And you're kind of annoyed then, because like, he should have fallen and hurt himself. You want him to learn his lesson.
Yeah.
But TYLOO, they fall, they hurt themselves, then they get back up and they hurt the ground. Like, they just answer back somehow in third maps and close it out. They managed to always beat Vici. And this shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be permitted.
I feel like it's more along the lines of, oh my god, he's not got away with those feels. That's gone so badly wrong, and this round is all falling apart. Somebody having a round to remember, or maybe to forget, depending on what side of the coin you're on. But yeah, I would almost put it along the line of like, the kid's fallen, hurt themselves, and then you've go, and what have you learned? And they've gone, don't fall. And it's no, don't fall, don't run there. Like, what do you mean? Like, the lesson isn't not to fall. It's like, it's that they would literally think of it in a way of like, I should have just done it better. Yes, it's like, no, don't do it at all. But be fair, in a lot of these rounds they do end up doing it better, so I guess I can't really take anything away.
Well, at least in this one, Neff is trying to save over and off, but he's missed the shot. There's only one player to really deal with, but now the supports come in. They've spotted him, 19 HP. He's going to try to stay alive inside the smoke. He's knifing away, and he's actually survived. Okay, well, at least there's some form of luck in favor of ZAI. At least. But the downside is they're 6-1 down, CT side, and I think that definitely doesn't make up for it.
Yeah, it is looking like TYLOO are back on that same trajectory we normally see them on, of just smashing their opponents in a normal fashion. Aggressive play from Neff. Oh, it didn't quite get to correct before they find that kill, and that seems to be the problem. Like, the Battle of Banana just plays into their hands. Nice spray through the smoke, though, from Splash K. Oh dear. Oh, they've heard the bullets. They should have heard the bullets. Slowly will eventually turn around and find the kill. It's just a sheer battle for the B site. The A site only has one player on it at this point. They're going to eventually go back there. Somebody versus Ronan. Or somebody versus Mini somebody. Oh, he doesn't manage to get around the corner. He flew around it at pace, and now it's left all onto Summer. Shouldn't be able to get past here, and eventually Bulbasaur will close out the round. So we finally see a punish for TYLOO as their fight on the B site doesn't work out. ZAI are going to break back, and they've done it in a round where they've actually made a fair bit of cash. So the T side money, not in the best of states. That spray was fantastic. This was interesting though, because they actually hit him with a bullet, but I guess just over their own spray they didn't hear the sound of him being shot.
ZAI. Can they keep it up? Can they get these rounds to pull it right back? Well, only time's gonna tell. And really it comes down to TYLOO. And how they want to be approaching this one. A deep nade, not quite gonna land. Oh, but slowly he gets tagged up by the second. That is fantastic work straight away. Somebody in Summer, though, they're pulling it right on back. Man advantage for the T side after great well-placed nades by ZAI this round.
Oh,
seems to be falling apart,
go.
but Ronan Baby comes in with a beautiful triple, shutting them down. Attacker left on 12 HP, and this should be the round for ZAI. Ronan Baby turns up big yet again.
Let's see if they close the round. He's even going to do it himself. This kid is unreal. 17 years of age. I'll bring it up again. That third kill that he gets with just the single bullet, just perfect. That was the cherry on top. Or it was a nice little spray down. Didn't quite manage to pick this one together, but it's this. Oh, just the level of confidence to even go for something like that, and then even facing it at the end while on low HP was risky. Could have handed away kill to attacker, but he was feeling confident, so he takes it. Back to pistols for TYLOO, and well, after a very slow start to this match, ZAI have finally found a little bit of a lifeline here.
Going out fishing, right? Looking for those opportunities. And Bobasaur is the one that's at least bringing a couple back for ZAI, putting it into their favor. TYLOO in a spot now. Obviously, the bomb is down. You can see that they're top mid controlled. Wait, what's going on with somebody? He's coming around on a B flank. That's going to take so long. With the bomb down, they can just hold this. If that... So, like, the round's done. That is the slowest flank I've ever seen. When you need support getting the bomb back, I don't understand why they committed to it so heavily. Like, either don't go for the bomb till somebody's in position, or somebody doesn't flank.
No.
But he's got behind them. He's at least good for one here, surely. Oh, maybe not. Picks up the op, though, looking for a little bit more. But he's not going to get it done, and they'll even save that op over.
A little bit too close for comfort, and that was definitely a costly one. You have to think the last few rounds, you've had 2 players surviving, one of them obviously being Ronan, and these were some really nice shots from Summer. Bobasaur, though, he's able to rectify things. Important that he did. I want to see this. Ah, we don't see it from a Splash Case point of view. Probably just looked into his eyes. But not quite good enough on the flick for the final. So 6-4. They're at least edging themselves closer to potentially getting the 10 rounds I was talking about, but this is where things get tough, because if TYLOO win this round, they're right back in the dirt again.
They don't like to make it easy for themselves, Tom, do they? TYLOO were the kind of team that skipped the tutorial and put the game on hardcore, and then wonder what the hell the controls are. Somehow finish the campaign without dying.
This is a really big round for ZAI. I'm interested to see what they're going to go for. It seems relatively standard, at least in the initial stages, but no, I thought they were potentially going to go for playing to the apartments, but it seems like they've decided against it. 4 players have gone one way. The bomb's weighted down the bottom mid. And actually, the CTs have finally decided to take some control of their own. Banana will be under their control. I'm not seeing any sort of rotation. Attacker just goes running through the Molotov, and Bobasaur's caught completely off guard. Definitely a risk, but it pays off for him. Are they going to start that rotation? Oh, this is insane. Ronan, he gets through. He's actually dropped the bomb, and he runs out of bullets. He was so clinical just moments ago, but this time it's not going to work out. Neff, however, has found another kill. Some are desperately low on HP. He's going to go onto the site with the bomb. Now, there's no nades to stop him, and an aggressive position from Slowly might not be expected at this stage of the round. You can see Splashgate trying to make his way back in. Doesn't actually have armor, even though he has a grand. I'm not sure what's happened there, and it doesn't matter. He gets headshotted. It's a cleanup in a matter of seconds from TYLOO. It felt like Ronan's play was going to be the decisive factor, but well, I guess in some sense it was.
So I was on the verge of making the suggestion that Splashkid didn't buy armor because he wanted to play with, to have money for an op in the next buy round, but then I realized Bulbasaur's got 3.1k, so now 5k coming out of that round. So that doesn't make sense. I guess he just didn't notice he didn't have armor, maybe? But, altogether a weird situation, for sure. They go to just pistols. Bulbasaur buys armor and a deagle, and he's the first one to go. An aggressive push through to second mid. It does not pay off. And to be honest, I would have rathered seen the harder eco from him to allow this team to at least have a little bit more to work with when it comes down to buying an op in the next round. Oh, that was an interesting one by Splash K. The equivalent of a dropkick.
8-4. You will see that up juggled over. I guess Bulbasaur still has money to buy for himself, so it's kind of worked out okay in the end, but it was still a really weird decision. TYLOO, though, looking good on the T side, and again, their money's not anything crazy, but we haven't really seen much of a punish come up from HUAT side just yet, even in situations where they've had the chance. Slowly just trying to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage from the Molotov, and it looks like, again, we're going to see this fight for Banana. Flash is not great, though. Actually was somebody's flash that comes through and blinds him at the same time. Even still, though, they've managed to come out of this duel on top. Now they need to quickly run towards that A side, because they know the second they make pressure on one side, TYLOO pull back onto the other. Bomb doesn't seem to be moving anytime soon, as every single player is fighting for a site. Well, I'll be honest, this is looking very good for the CT side.
Yep, definitely looking good for HUAT. And another kill just cements that even further. Somebody in Danking, got to get this done. Danking on short, looking for the opportunities, but they're not presenting themselves. Ronan Baby's able to easily take that one down. And with that, it is pretty much done and dusted. 8-5. HUAT coming out with another. But remember, this is the CT side, and it feels like for TYLOO, 8 rounds, they've already done more than enough. Anything they get from this point's a bonus, and it's possible for them to end 10-5 at this point. Especially because, well, I wouldn't describe this round as a buy, but they have got an AWP and an AK.
The weird thing about that round, though, is why are you fighting the site when the bomb's still like a good 10 seconds away? Like, even if you manage to win those duels somehow, there's still a chance you lose it just off the bomb being too far away. Danking, he tries to go for the hero play, but he's lost early in the round. There should be an opportunity to retrieve that AWP, but there's a lot of counter utility being expended. That nade is going to do a lot of damage onto Slowly. The common factor of, I guess, a player with a hero weapon trying to start things off, but it is odd to me that in a lot of these situations, and Danking's normally the perpetrator in this sense, he'll go aggressive with an AWP, and there's never anyone to back him up. It's just him trying to be that solo hero. It's almost like, stand back, I've got this, and then he dies.
This position for TYLOO, it's not ideal with the investment they've made. They've really pigeonholed themselves into winning this round or losing out on an 9 or 10 round half. Slowly, he's the one opening it up on the spiels. The shots through the smoke not quite going to work out, and they're not ready for Ronan Baby. He takes a little bit too long to get the kill, but it's okay in the end. It's all down to Summer, and he can't find the 1v4 that he needed. TYLOO, well, they lost out on that round, and with that, no bomb plan as well, leaves them on practically no money for what will be the final round of the half. Really nice stuff by HUAT. But I do feel like TYLOO kind of screwed themselves over there. They took a little bit too long. They allowed the flank to come down through middle, left Banana completely open and exposed. And getting onto the side itself took them too long once they started the push.
These are the sort of rounds, though, that I would consider TYLOO rounds. Where they just have no right to win. But then somehow they do. I hope I'm wrong. But it's because they have less, they normally seem to play more as a team, which is the funny thing about it. Danking just manages to get the opener onto Ronan. That leaves one player defending this site. It's down to Neff. He's been left completely blind. I can't believe it. Well, I can. I said it, but still. It just seems to be the rounds where they actually decide to play as a squad. This is aggressive, but of course, Splash K then whiffs his shots, and that will be enough to put them into a 4 versus 2. See if the clairvoyant is correct in this case, or if these remaining 2 players can somehow save my sanity.
Now, Spiels is doing his best to pull that one back. Summer's gone down. It's a 2v3. The bomb planted. Time is so damn low. For HUAT, it feels like it's going to be a really disappointing round if they lose this one. Bulbasaur, Spiels has no idea there's a player behind him, but he catches Slowly. An attacker now, Tech 9 in hand, has to stop it. He's done it. Time was too low, 4 seconds remaining when attacker swung through for that one. And of course, Tom, with just the pistols, TYLOO come out and win that round 9-6 at the half.
Do you ever get that feeling of you don't feel good about being right? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like this wasn't even like, if, say for example they get the first kill and I go, oh, I think they're gonna win this round. I think that's not that hard a prediction to make because they've got the entry. There's one man on the site. At the beginning of the round, just being like, oh, look, they've got some pistols. This is probably theirs. It's just annoying. But those are the TYLOO rounds. They're the ones where it's so infuriating for the exact reason of that they never try that with the rifles. They never just go as a group and face into a site. And even towards the end, they were facing too much again. But it's like they go for these... Oh, my God. They've actually managed to just completely get past Dan King. Just by running past. Somebody, though, has managed to find two on the other side of the map. They tried to sell a fake, and the fake has just ended with bodies in a pile. Attacker waiting behind the smoke. This is so awkward. How did he survive? Thank God Splash K is eventually going to kill him off. Now, Dan King doesn't need to fight this at all. This is a 3 versus 1. He's still facing. He finally decides to fall back. A risk that wasn't necessary, but they get away with it anyway. 10-6. A round that I really feel like could have gone either way, but a few sort of cheeky plays here and there have been enough for TYLOO.
Well, for TYLOO, you know, it was those huge individual plays that answered up. I feel like anytime that they're under threat, they just do come through with this massive individual performance to pull it all the way back. It was somebody, it was attacker in this pistol round, but we've seen every single player on this roster step it up at one point or another. And what is surprising is at the moment, attacker and Dan King especially, having a pretty rough time when it comes to this game on Inferno. I think Dan King's aggressive style certainly being punished a lot more here in the choke pointy map, and Summer's here in time. He's got himself a UMP. That's an easy cleanup as he goes out and takes some heads. Man advantage back in TYLOO's favor. And HUAT stopped dead in their tracks as the bomb is on the floor. Good flash around, gets Summer to sight, and he's going to keep on swinging. Of course he is.
His teammate's dead. It doesn't even care. He's going to get 4 kills, retrieve the rifle. He's made some money along the way, and for HUAT, they can't really invest too much into this round. Just a few deagles, maybe. We are seeing that better performance from somebody has said. Like, this is almost what I expect at this point. Like, he has a poor couple of maps. They get to Inferno at the end, and he goes, ah, this is my map. I like this one. I'll do well on this one with my crazy plays. They've actually invested back into 3 more SMGs. So they're going to be playing those into what will be the initial buy round. Of course, the way that they're playing it, very aggressive. They're going to look to try and take these fights, earn as much money as possible. Dan King doing at least a reasonable amount of damage, but he's actually run out of bullets, and he's going to get Deeg. It's already starting... Excuse me? He just walked onto A, bitch.
Just strolled on in. Well, at least he should be able to deal with him fairly easily. He's got no armor, P250. Gets another kill on a bomb plant. I mean, altogether, pretty good round. The slippery snake, Tom. TYLOO have got to be scratching their heads as to how they've just let that one go down.
Smart stuff from him, though, just to run second mid in that situation. Like, he could have just waited and tried to fight with the rest of his team, but instead he just like, see you later, good luck, I'm gonna go get us a bomb plant. Straight in with the double op setup as well for TYLOO. So if we were talking about money and how they haven't really made any, this is the pinnacle of it, because they've spent all of their extra cash to make sure that they have this double op. Somebody will try and be cheeky around banana. But if anything, if this works, that probably means they close out the game from here. Like, this needs to be a round win from HUAT. Put their economy on the back burner, make it so that they have to build. Oh, Oversaw. That's just so unnecessarily risky. Why are they all just pushing through smokes? Have they picked up the wrong strat book and just started reading TYLOO's?
Yeah, certainly. Unfortunately, that strat book only works for one team. And one team only. And Tom, very much as you said, TYLOO coming into this map, they wake up. They're not looking to give double digits to HUAT even. And it's the infuriating thing about this is that we have TYLOO just fall asleep at the start of series, and then eventually it's like that coach wakes up and goes, "Ah, come on, it's almost dinner time. Can we just win this?" They're like, "All right, coach. All right, we got you. Close this one out." But as I said before, I do appreciate that they don't want to give everything away when it comes down to playing these lower level teams. But at the same time, this is like,
I'm not
ridiculous.
Giving them that excuse.
Individually, yeah, individually in the previous map, they were trash.
Which is like just peaking in 1v3s. Like, it's just silly. Orp's going to be there for somebody. He still manages to get... No, I thought he was going to get their third kill for a second. That would have made absolutely no sense. But even still, they've done enough. You got Spiels on just 19 HP. He's got the Orp. The Molotov's going to go over the top, but it won't do too much for now. They're going to take the fight, but it's Bulbasaur gone. Spiels now left in a 1 versus 3. This time they are going to be setting up some extra utility, try and get themselves back in. First shot is connected, but attacker's quick on the trade. I think that's what makes it so infuriating, though, is you know that they can do it. They're just choosing not to.
Yeah. And I don't see why, Tom. Like, you want to play more rounds? You want to give these teams a chance? Like, what? Why? Why? Because does confidence just come into it that much? You feel like you can just swing and 1v3 everybody? Because you think back to the first map, Tom. Like, how many times did we see like a 3v3 post plant, and one at a time they rush out and go for kills? And it's not even semi-justifiable ones. It's ones that you can guarantee there is no merit to. That if you ask them, why did you do that? They'd go, I don't know. Felt like it. That would literally be the only excuse.
Hot side with a mountain to climb. After such a good performance on Mirage and potentially pinpointing a few weaknesses for TYLOO. It comes to Inferno, and, well, as you can see, it's not even been a close storyline at all. Double Orb setup will remain. Somebody has said has been having a much better map, but again, it's annoying because this is something that, as said, you could just say even before the map begins that this will happen, and it's not really anything impressive. It's not even like a bold prediction. This is just what happens. Somebody plays better on Inferno. The team seem to perform better as well. They look confident on this map. It's a map that if I have any roster at the moment, I'm avoiding if playing against them. And it always seems to end up being the third. Nice start from Spiels, though. Aid will come back in return, do a lot of damage, and now Danking's going to go pushing. Somebody's actually reloading at the top of Banana. Goes back for the peak. Flashbang over the top. He is going to go back for more. And while he's managed to find a kill, Flashbang to try and help him get around the corner. It won't actually catch anybody. He's going to go for another peek. This man is just a machine. He's going to find 3. They almost lined up at the end. In fact, he's knocked Ronan down to just 1 HP. Again, this man does more than enough. And by this point, there's just nothing that the remaining players can do. I don't know how he gets away with it. I don't know how he does the things he does. But that's why somebody is a marvel that many people will never understand.
You know, the double up setup as well, something that we've seen come into play for them pretty successfully. Danking over on mid and playing towards the long or short side, depending on the round, swapping it up. And somebody obviously shutting them down on this push through the site. 2 kills, heavy damage onto Ronan, and that's exactly what he needed. Made it so easy for his team to get that retake on. And for TYLOO, 15-6 is where we roll with it. The faster strategy from HUAT side with a late, well, an early attempt really at a mid flank did not work out. And now they've got one last chance. It has to be 9 consecutive rounds, and it starts out by losing 1 player, Neff, able to get the trade, but only barely. And look at this, slowly it's just going down Banana. Tom, they've literally just had the players in Banana, and slowly, immediately, without a flash, he pushes down. He's on bottom mid. There's no way they can expect it. The spam through the smoke doesn't get much more done, but he has spotted the players coming through to the site. Somebody gets a trade, and now it's a 1v3. Neff has at least managed to find the first. He thinks he's a very skinny boy to get through that window. Eventually manages the squeeze. But with 39 HP, this is not going to be an easy recovery.
Yeah, we saw him have a fantastic performance in the last map. It's not been anywhere near the same. And I think Danking's now made the realization that this is going to be a push towards the B side. He's gone all the way down the bottom of mid, and it's yet to see any rotation from somebody. The Molotov's going to be used. He expects them to have rotated by this point. Will he expect them to be all the way at top banana, though? He's just watching into mid. He knows he has to take a duel, and unfortunately, that duel is not going to be enough. It seems like my crystal ball is working today, as it's going to be an utterly dominant finish, somebody having a great performance, and HUAT not getting 10 rounds. So, you know, someone should just pay me for this.
It's almost like they do, Tom. It's almost like they do. Yeah, overall, I have to say, TYLOO